Hi everyone, it's Eileen Burns here from the Spiritual Marketing Club. Okay, so basically, I'm on and I want to talk about blogging and guest blogging. So I've tried to do this video a few times and I've had some really odd feedback. Tim went to play it. There's been all sorts of things come through, but anyway. So blogging is a great way that you can reach your ideal clients and soul clients, and it's a great way to build that know, like, and trust factor, okay? And so is guest blogging. But how's the best way to approach blogging, okay? Well, one of the things that you have to think about is how blogging works and how it actually attracts your audience, and different things about blogging, why it can be really good for SEO. So I use a certain approach in the Spiritual Marketing Club. I use a combination of choosing keywords and topics that I know that you'll be interested in, or most of my audience are interested, and I write blogs around those topics, and a lot of them are how-to or tips, and maybe giving these insights about things about marketing maybe that you're not aware of. Okay, so it's all helpful solutions that help solve certain problems and help you become more aware. So this is all about supporting news, and a blog should support its audience. It's about helping your audience with something. Now, personal blogs, on your business blog about, your own experiences are obviously, yes, important sometimes to help people capture elements of you. But sometimes if we post too much about ourselves, but we're not actually giving our audience something that's going to benefit them, you're not going to keep them engaged, okay? And there's got to be a reason. So, sometimes it's about honestly looking at our blogs and saying, is they really going to benefit? Or is it something you would read on someone else's blog? Will you go looking for that? So, look at it from a different perspective. But if blogging's approached the right way, and in a way that benefits the audience, but is also, as I said, good for SEO. And for those of you who maybe who don't know what SEO is, this is what we call search engine optimization, and that's basically, if you go and you search in Google or Yahoo or something like that, and you're trying to search for a product or a service, and something pops up. The more you have good SEO, the higher chance that your ideal clients or soul clients will find you. And SEO is one of the things that I've used to build my business more organically over the last 20 years through blogging, right? And the key here is using blogging the right way. Now, some people may say they think that blogging's went out and vlogging's important. Yes, vlogging is a really good way to engage your audience, but some aspects of blogging, again, can work better in your SEO. It depends on what you're doing, and basically it's good to use to click on through pins and Pinterest, and it's what we call evergreen content, because it's something, it can be easily digestible for someone if they're trying to find something that they need tips with, or they want to get insight into maybe a healing or therapy modality you've used, or tips with a particular ailment or problem. This is when blogging can be really effective. Now, the thing about blogging, if you're thinking about blogging in relation to getting other guest bloggers on, or you want to go guest blogging on someone else's site, there's a few things that you should consider. First of all, they should have a similar audience to yourself. So it might be something different they're offering, but they have a similar audience, okay? And if you go looking for guest blogging, there's a few things that you should consider. I get every single day, I get people asking me if they can be a guest blogger on one of my sites, but a lot of them they don't send me blogs that are very, how could you say, some of them could be quite cheeky. They're not very warming, or as if the person's interested. a lot of them are really rude. They just want to get a blog. They don't offer any form of exchange, and they automatically assume that they're doing you a favour by putting their blog on your site, when that is not always the case, right? So, for example, I get a lot of content writers wanting to put a lot of their blogs on my stress coach training site, okay? And I do also get ones that actually offer me money because they know that my site has high value, okay? But again, I'm not just going to just because they're offering me money, let them blog in my site, because if they're not an expert in their area, and if they're writing about something and I don't feel it's very good, why would I allow them on my site? Because it doesn't give my reputation, it's not going to be conducive for my ideal audience. So you have to consider all of these things. And one of the big things that happened with Google last year with the algorithms, for example, I've got the World of Health site, and I aim it now that it's mostly health professionals and like holistic doctors and things, and there's a reason why, and that's because Google, there was a big change in the algorithms, which meant that they started to lower a lot of health and wellbeing blogs that weren't written by medical professionals, okay? And it would be even worse if you were someone that didn't have a certain level of qualification and you were writing something, a subject that is classed by mainstream as maybe that you shouldn't be writing about that, okay? So basically, I started to then more fine-tune who I always was kind of careful who I chose. I didn't want people that just had done a little course in something that were actually experts, but I had to start to be more firm because it had really a huge impact in my site, and that's a site I've owned for over 20 years, okay? So guest blogging has to benefit both parties, right? But if someone has got, for example, like, you know, if I've got quite a lot of good traffic, good SEO, and you get the opportunity to be a guest blogger and you've not got good SEO and you've not got a lot of following, this is a great opportunity for you to reach a wider audience. But it's really important that you choose your topics carefully. And, you know, the best way is to choose topics that you really have a lot of knowledge about. And again, you're sharing wisdom to that audience, and that you recognise that the person that's guest blogging for you is providing you with the guest blog, is, you know, is giving you a great opportunity to reach a wider audience. But I got a lot of people, it's funny, who just seem to think again that they're the ones that are doing the favour, and they just ask for a guest blog, but they do not offer anything else in exchange. They don't offer to share anything. So it's important that, you know, when you're reaching out to other people for an opportunity, that you say, well, if you do this for me, I'll try and promote this for you, I'll promote your other blogs. You know, you're appreciating the value. You're not just assuming that by you doing the blog that you're doing all the favours for them, because this is where there seems to be a lot of confusion. Now, if you're actually providing guest blogging opportunities, this is where it can be really important that you're very clear on who you allow to blog, and that they're aligned with your audience, that they're not going to give a mixed message. Again, I get a lot of people who want to blog on my site, but they're maybe not as experienced or qualified, and what they're writing is not really how I would explain it, or think that it's not really aligned with my audience, so it does not fit. So it's you have to be very, very careful that again, who you're allowing on your site is in alignment with what you're offering. And also you have to be also careful that what they're written has not been written anywhere else. I had a situation recently where someone asked me to guest blog on my site and provided me with a blog that actually 80% of the blog actually had been written somewhere else. And that's really not good. I mean, that's, and in a way it can be like laziness, because at the end of the day, if you're writing a blog for someone, you should take the diligence and care to write a fresh new blog. And it shouldn't be paraphrased either. You know, a blog is something that's supposed to be new and fresh. You shouldn't share a blog that has been written anywhere else. Very, very important. Also, you know, if you're going to write a blog, consider writing blogs that are evergreen. evergreen content means that 1, 2, 3, even 5-year, 10-year down the line, it's still going to be beneficial to your audience, so you can still be attracting clients. It does depend on the type of business that you're offering, but evergreen content is a great way to send traffic to your website if done correctly. So these are all things you should consider. And also, also accept, you have to expect, if you are submitting a guest blog, that the title might be slightly changed, some of the words might be changed, or some things might be changed, with your permission, and there'll be reasons for that. Again, I get a lot of blogs, but the titles might be too big for my site. That'll make it look really cheap, or it might not be good SEO. Maybe a simple tweak would mean that your blog will get more reach if I make these changes, and that's what I usually get back to people and say, can I change it slightly, because I'm doing them a favour. It means that it could actually mean that they could get 100 times the reach that they would get from what they originally had, how they had originally written it. But that's because I know a lot of these things. It's something I've done for a long time. So remember, guest blogging and blogging are a fantastic way to reach a wider audience, but they should be, chosen. It's all about thinking about a blog that is relevant to your ideal audience, to your soul clients. And if you're writing a blog on someone else, think about, obviously you want to be writing mostly for blogs that are going to be related to your audience. But again, it's got to be in alignment with someone else's site as well. You've got to think it like that. You've got to, it's got to be a win-win situation for both. So thank you for watching. And if I have quite a few blogs that talk about blogging, so check out the Spiritual Marketing Club blog. You can always check, look in the little search icon, and put in blogging and get some more tips how to maximize guest blogging and blogging for your business. Have a wonderful day.